today we are looking to pick out some colors for your renovations, your interior design, is that right? So exciting. So I know you were looking at some blues, yellows, kind of creamy butter yellow, and some calming greens as well, is that right? Perfect. So if we get through these decisions and feel comfortable with those, I also have some other booklets for us to look through. We can look at exterior doors and windows, which is also super exciting. Okay, so for right now, let me set some of these aside. I even have some more color swatches for us to look at here, just in case you wanted to check out anything else. Okay, so let's start off nice and simply. Let's start with our blues, okay? So first thing, I'll probably go through these two because I know you were looking sort of for a dustier kind of steel blue, is that right? Okay, so this one is the darker of the shades. It is called License to Dream. It's a bit of a medium dark gray blue. If we go on the lighter end of that spectrum, we've got Acceleration. You prefer the lighter color? Certainly. So let me tuck the darker one aside here. And we're going to look at now some of these swatches as well. Let's get everything here. So it's going to be writing down some of your preferences as we go. And I know that probably the top two lines, these would be a little too light for what you're looking for, isn't that right? Yep. And probably the same with the bottom two, too dark. Okay. What do you think about this row? Maybe it's still a little bit lighter than what you're thinking. So probably looking at these bottom two rows across. Any initial impressions as you're looking at these? These ones a little bit more teal than what you're looking for? Okay. Very good. We'll set those off to the side here. And what I can do is bring in this one for comparison as well. So when you're looking at these, this one definitely has a bit more of the gray, maybe even like periwinkle tones to it. Let's see if we can get them even closer here for you. So these ones, we've got kind of the lighter option. These ones aren't too far off. That one I might have a little bit more of that, like a hint of green, right? That teal. So maybe not your favorite. That's no problem. I can take that out of here as well. And comparing these ones. So still not a big fan of this. You want something quite impressive, rich color, eh? Okay. So between these, you're kind of feeling like you'd like a mix between the Acceleration and the Bluebells. I see what you're going for, something that's quite rich, but more periwinkle style, if you accept that description. Perfect, okay. So a periwinkle blue, it's rich. Periwinkle rich blue, because I realize you don't want a room that's like washed out with the color and not something that's going to be overwhelming. Alright, so we're going to look a bit more, see if we can find a better blue here for you. But let me put my blues over to the side and let's bring out the yellows. So kind of the same thing to start. I've got kind of a very sunny, very warm cream yellow here, and then more of your simplistic cream, so a bit more white to it. Initial impressions, this one's a bit too yellow. Okay, very understandable. So I'm going to do the same thing as well. I've got kind of a variety here for you to look at. I narrowed these ones down a little bit more by myself, but let's see. So yeah, I definitely hear that we're not looking for anything fluorescent. So let's see, let's compare this one then, shall we? So this one's a bit more warm compared to these ones. So these ones are a bit bit too yellow? Okay, that's no problem. Let's go in between these two. So the Upbeat's just a little bit of a darker version of this. This is our Corn Silk. This is Upbeat. So pretty similar, aren't they? That was just a titch darker, a little bit more on the tan side. Coming over to this side, if you want a little bit more yellow, there's Sunbeam. So somewhere in between those ones, there's also Visionary. Maybe closer to Visionary, eh? Sure. All right, let me jot that down for our yellows. We've got Visionary with the Corn Silk and Upbeat. Lovely. I'm just going to take another look at those myself, if that's okay. Yeah, there's the maiden hair too, which is quite a bit whiter. Well, that was an easy one, wasn't it? Those ones were pretty spot on. Alright, that brings us to our greens here. So I started off with just the one that was the most calming green square I could find. There's a lot more variety in the green department, a lot more taste involved in what you find calming. So let's see if I can break this down a little bit. Quite a variety, like I said. So here what I've got for us to look at for the greens. So definitely these ones are looking a bit more almost with like that hint of the turquoise in this green. That variety, these ones are a bit more of your natural forest greens, a little bit more of like the grass green, olive greens coming in this side. These ones not too far off from each other, and this is like if you take the teal to greens and make them quite a bit darker. All right, so off the bat, and this I think falls in line with these ones quite well. Not too far off. So do you find these ones a little bit too bright? Okay, that's very helpful. We'll put these off to the side. And this one's just a little too bright in a different way. Okay, that's fine. So let's bring in these ones. Maybe those ones should go side by side for a better comparison here. So again, it sounds like you want something that's a little bit darker than the top options. You don't want it to be a white green, a true green. So probably again looking past that top line there, eh? So do you find these ones still a little bit too much blue in them? Okay, perfectly fine. So these ones are more of those natural forest greens. Kind of liking the lime taffy. Okay. Pear cactus too? Absolutely, those would be lovely colors. Very calming green, right? Not too energetic like those more yellow greens. Then we've got pistachio pudding and harmonious. So kind of maybe, sounds like you're looking for something in between those. These ones still have some of the yellows. These ones still have some of the blues mixed in. So if we could find something that's a little bit more in the middle of these four. Alright, that sounds very good. So with our greens, mix of yellow and blue tones. Lovely. All right, I think we're doing quite well. Let me work on finding some more colors here for you to see if we can find the perfect shades of those. I'll just see if there's anything in our little lookbook here that might pop out. I think we did a good job choosing our yellows already, so I won't get too worried about that side. Let's see what they have here for us. I'm thinking those greens aren't quite right, are they? That one's maybe not bold enough. That one's a little too bold. As for blues, I think again, we're not quite finding that periwinkle blue that you're looking for, are we? There's a little bit of variety. Let's see what else we have to offer, okay? In our book over here, let's see what we've got. So this is quite nice because it would show you what you'd be expecting with a yellow room, what that would look like. How bright and cheerful is that, hey? I love that. Let's see. Still not, maybe. Is that sort of a green that you might consider? Let's go back and see. We'll come back to that one, shall we? Let's see what that looks like. What else do we have here? Ooh, oranges are quite fun, but I think a little different and bold than what you're looking for. These colors I think are, again, a bit strong for what you're asking. Still got a lot, and that might be what you're looking for that blue, isn't it? Something more like that. I love that. So that dusty blue room that's got that lovely rich color, but not too dark or bold. I think that's just fantastic. So let me put that aside and I'll look into those colors, okay? Perfect. So I won't take too much of your time for this. I just want to get you thinking about windows and doors. So I know this might look a little overwhelming. Don't worry too much. I'll send this home with you for your homework. But just to keep in mind that when we're looking at windows, I know you love lots of natural light. So there's the traditional casement window. So casement meaning they've got kind of the crank to open or close it, or the awning windows. So awning will open up and out, where casement opens to the side. So those are the kind of different styles and options we have. Then we've got the single hung windows, the ones that you lift to open. If you want, for either of these styles, you can talk about having multiple smaller windows side by side versus one larger window where they're all in one unit. Even bay windows to look at. Keep those in mind as well for beautiful views, okay? Even from there, we can get very creative. So if you choose what kind of window style you might like, we've also got these half round windows, different styles that you can put on top, right? So they just kind of have an extra area of light come through. Very modern, very creative design flows that we can have. Again, you're not limited by that. You can check out all of these options, okay? All right, think about that, and let's have a little look through some of our window and door collections. So let me just have a little scan, just see if there's anything here that I think you might like. This is just more of a refresher course for you. So the single hung, again, your standard window that you can move up and down, or the side slider, moving it from side to side. You can have different colored and fabric frames. It doesn't just have to be your vinyl or PVC. There are hybrids that have aluminum in them as well. Wouldn't that just be gorgeous? Imagine how much natural light. I do love those windows. And beyond the vinyl, PVC, aluminum, you can also have wood frames as well. Beautiful for style. And you're not limited by your imagination at all. You can have grills in those windows. They can be within the panes, outside the panes. They can be flat. They can be small. They can be kind of with grooves within. There's so many options, okay? And just as kind of a recap, so casement windows, again, there's a lot to think about, a lot of decisions to make, but those ones open with a crank. Same with the awning, they just open different direction. Single hung, you can move this one up and down. Double hung means the top can be moved down or the bottom can be moved up. It gives you a lot of flexibility. Single slide, sliding, and then those nice architectural shapes that we were talking about. Fixtures, your hardware, lots of different finishes. So remember, lots of variety here for you. You're really not limited by the standard white. There's so many different colors to think about for all of it, for the PVC, the wood, the hybrids. Let's see. Entrance doors. Beautiful. So these can be statement pieces that really make your house. Just kind of a little breeze through here. If anything pops out, ask me questions. But again, we're not limited very much. Just limited by your imagination. So really any design you can think of, any pattern of insert of glass you want, we can do anything. Same goes for colors. Again, we've got so many lovely colors. Blues can be very popular, especially if the outside of your house is a bit softer in color as well. Alright, let me send you home with this one and our last one here. Let's see. more on windows and doors. I'm just going to point out a few key features. Again, whatever style strikes you, please let me know. And remember, so many colors to choose from. Again, I'm just gonna go on a limb. I think you're probably gonna really like the blues here, just based on what the inside colors would look like for that first room. Consider the Old World blue or the Wedgwood blue. Maybe the Wedgwood, right? It's got that nice gray blue that might match that room, right? So many styles and patterns. You can have curtains within the doors, or blinds if you will, or you can have really nice privacy glass that not only filters the light, but make sure that you have that privacy as well. Side lights, wonderful. You can have half length, 3/4, full length side lights. You can have grills or no grills. You can have light just at the top of the door. You can have full length windows. It's whatever you can imagine. I just want to point out on this side too, that grill pattern, so much variety, right? There's the double prairie, single prairie, or just regular prairie, rectangular, vertical, craftsman, the ladder. Whatever sounds the best to you. So many options. Again, I won't go into too much detail here. I will let you pick out what sounds the best to you, but even as specific as choosing the color of your hinges, okay? You just do what sounds the very best to you, and we're going to make your dreams come true here, okay? All right. I'll leave it all to you. So I really appreciate you coming in today and helping me pick out some of the best colors for you. I think what I'll do is have a few more samples ready for you, just for your opinion here. I think you give me a really wonderful start about what will work the best. Let's see, there we go. But I've got my notes and I'm going to set out and get everything perfect for you, okay? All right, thank you so much. And I'll be chatting with you very soon, okay? All right.